Have you ever heard of forgotten cities suspended between sky and earth? Have you ever wondered if there are still places that carry the soul of the Silk Road? Are you ready to step into lands where time itself seems to stand still? Amid a noisy world and crowded tourist hotspots, there still exist mysterious lands where nature, history, and humanity merge in silence. This story isn't just about landscapes, it's about living memories that still echo through the wind, the sand, and the quiet rhythm of life in faraway places. This journey isn't for the masses, it's for those souls who long to uncover an Asia never told in words. Tianmen Cave is a massive natural opening carved into a vertical limestone cliff, yet its surrounding physical phenomena remain difficult to explain. Airflow passing through the cave was observed to shift velocity suddenly at a fixed altitude, despite the absence of any barriers or clear terrain changes. On the inner cave walls, natural cracks form near circular arcs spaced almost evenly, creating a symmetrical pattern not seen in other cave systems. A stone sample taken from the wall revealed a uniformly porous core composed of uncommon materials, raising questions about a unique formation process. Iscandacul Lake lies in a basin surrounded by high mountains, with clear water that never freezes due to geothermal activity and low salinity. The name Iscandacul means hot lake, referring to its unusual hydrology as it does not freeze in winter, despite being at high elevation. Its ecosystem is unique, home to native fish like Iscandacul pike, cold water algae, migratory birds, and mountain wildlife such as snow leopards and mountain goats. A legend says the lake was formed when an ancient city sank, and on quiet nights, bells can be heard from the bottom. Some surveys have recorded stone bases and architectural structures underwater, but the exact date remains unknown. Historically, the lake was a major transit stop on the ancient Silk Road, where trading groups rested and refilled water. The Mongolian steppe is a vast grassland ecosystem with gently sloping terrain, free of forests or urban blocks, allowing wildlife to migrate naturally over large areas. This region is home to species like Przewalski's horses, Mongolian antelopes, steppe foxes, and golden eagles, with their movements and breeding cycles tied to seasonal grass and moisture levels. Each year, seasonal vegetation changes form visible color patterns on the ground, recorded by satellite images and used for climate studies. Some locals have reported silent ground zones where sound does not echo and grass fails to regrow after being trampled. Survey teams have also recorded shallow depressions where faint light appears at dawn, without any known light source. Visitors can ride horses across low grass clusters and follow wildlife tracks while observing annual dry-wet ground cycles in small-scale soil changes. Along a submerged rocky strip in northern Rhodes, archaeologists uncovered a sequence of hemispherical depressions arranged in a zigzag line facing the sea, each with near identical circumference and evenly spaced, yet unmatched by any known ancient Greek measurement system. Beneath a hardened sandstone layer, a thin, lens-shaped stone slab was found with a sublayer containing microcrystalline structures absent in local mineralogy, capable of distorting narrowband light spectra. In a subsurface space near the old city wall, ground-penetrating radar registered a hollow, cone-shaped echo about 3 meters tall, with no physical access point detected above it. A set of buried stub columns with alternating lateral grooves was aligned in a cyclic pattern that matched the background magnetic noise amplitude recorded on site. In 2022, a resurfaced foundation revealed a partially eroded stone block embedded with a metallic fan-shaped insert, showing signs of low-voltage directional conduction across uneven oxidation layers. These data are inconsistent with known uses for habitation, defense, or ritual, suggesting that roads once hosted structures engineered for oscillation control, energy vector guidance, and spatial interaction processing within a fixed directional framework. Red Beach in China is not made of sand, but is a vast wetland covered by Suaita seaweed, which gradually turns bright red at the end of its growth cycle. The spongy mud layer beneath holds salt strongly, allowing only specific plants to survive in this harsh environment. Biologists once discovered clusters of bacteria forming honeycomb-like patterns around the red roots, with no signs of human arrangement. During seasonal changes, natural surface cracks create wide grid patterns that resemble a massive vascular system when seen from above. A local legend speaks of sunken spots in the marsh that momentarily give way underfoot and then seal themselves without leaving any trace, leading some to believe the soil is alive. Whether from a botanical or geological perspective, Red Beach remains a place where many of its phenomena still defy full scientific explanation. Khiva is located in a semi-desert lowland with dry sandy terrain mixed with old alluvial soil, irrigated by wells and underground canal systems. The name Khiva is believed to come from the sound khivak, made by an ancient well, tied to a legend about the city's founder digging the first water source in this dry land. Despite the harsh climate, The area supports agriculture through traditional irrigation, growing cotton, wheat, and grapes. A legend says there is an underground tunnel network built from clay mixed with straw, used for escape or storing valuables, but most of it is now sealed and unexplored. Some tunnel segments were found during foundation work, but conditions did not allow full investigation. Kiva has existed for over 1,000 years and was once a key political, glazed tiled tower and well-preserved religious buildings based on traditional Islamic city planning. Matsushima Bay is one of the rare coastal areas where hundreds of small pine-covered islands rise from pale green waters, forming a natural maze amid a glassy sea. Each island has a unique shape, with vertically eroded shorelines forming narrow parallel grooves. Strangely, nearly all the islands tilt in the same direction, with no geological evidence of unidirectional currents or uniform uplift. A geological survey found reversed sediment layers, where younger layers lie beneath older ones, an unusual and unexplained arrangement. In the bay's shallow southern section, bottom instruments detected gentle, rhythmic ground movements during low air pressure, while the surface remained undisturbed. Locals have passed down stories of small islands vanishing into thick fog and reappearing hours later in the exact same place without explanation. Located at the heart of the Iranian plateau, the Dashi Cavier Desert is not just barren land, but a place that holds numerous unexplained remnants waiting to be understood. Satellite images have revealed a chain of large and small circular patterns spread across salt plains, forming shapes with no signs of modern human activity. When survey teams attempted measurements at the center, Positioning and magnetic devices repeatedly malfunctioned, forcing them to suspend data collection. A stone-paved road nearly 40 kilometers long was unexpectedly uncovered beneath dry salt layers, running straight east to west without a clear starting or ending point. Some theories suggest that the desert's core once hosted unique trade or ritual activity, but no historical records mention the site at all. In a submerged stone platform near Alexandria's eastern harbor, archaeologists discovered a series of rectangular blocks aligned in a linear strip with shallow uniform grooves on the surface, bearing no symbols or inscriptions. Beneath a seabed layer over 5 meters deep, a corroded metal slab was recovered, containing a core of lead-tin alloy blended with silica, a composition not recorded in ancient Egyptian artifacts. Near the old library site, ground-penetrating radar registered a double-ring echo structure, with the outer ring measuring more than 18 meters in circumference and showing no off-center deviation. A cluster of hollow stone columns was found near a collapsed stone zone, each containing fine crystalline powder composed primarily of quartz and zinc, capable of conducting electrical pulses under low pressure. In 2015, a fractured stone wall exposed a sealed ceramic pipe with an internal spiral form, equal in diameter and disconnected from any known water distribution system. These findings indicate the presence of unresolved structural elements beneath Alexandria, potentially linked to energy direction or signal storage through fixed spatial arrangements. The Gobi Desert is a unique desert region made up mostly of gravel, dry plateaus, and deeply eroded gullies that form a jagged surface. The name Gobi comes from the Mongolian language and means waterless land, clearly describing the harsh dryness of the area. Despite the extreme climate, Gobi is home to rare animals such as wild Bactrian camels, Saiga antelope, and snow leopards, all adapted to low water and large temperature changes. A strange phenomenon once recorded in Gobi is the appearance of phantom cities on the horizon, showing shapes like stone towers that vanish suddenly, and no full explanation has been confirmed. The Gobi was also a key route for traders along the ancient Silk Road, where archaeological traces, like ancient footprints and dinosaur fossils, have been found in desert layers. Beneath the ancient foundations of Athens, archaeologists uncovered a paved stone system with narrow, spiral grooves precisely aligned at intersections of internal routes from the classical era, with no evidence of water or air transport function. In an underground corridor near the ancient agora, wall plaster samples contained a rare clay rich in tungsten oxide, a compound known for high ultraviolet reflectivity, not documented in other structures from the period. In 2007, beneath a buried section of the Acropolis, triangular stone blocks were found interlocked with reflective surfaces, all oriented southwest, forming a unified directional array absent from historical maps. Nearby, a sealed recess held fragmented ceramic pieces engraved with sinusoidal sequences placed in mirrored symmetry across a central stone axis. In a restored ancient well, the bottom surface was not flat, but sloped inward to form a concave spiral base, enabling slow, rotational fluid convergence. These findings suggest that Athens incorporated unique spatial mechanisms and material configurations within its substructures, the full purposes of which remain unresolved. Hidden within the arid steppes of Kazakhstan, Charon Canyon stands out not only for its massive natural architecture, but also for unresolved geological mysteries. In a 2009 survey, geologists discovered a series of interlocked hexagonal stones in an area with no evidence of volcanic activity, challenging conventional sediment theories. A deep fracture running along a cliff wall was found with an unusually smooth surface, showing no signs of erosion from water or wind. Local residents tell of a spring night when a soft glow emerged along this crack, never seen again and never explained. When seismic instruments were deployed, they detected steady low-frequency vibrations with no identifiable source within hundreds of kilometers. These combined anomalies have made Charon Canyon a compelling site for researchers exploring the unrevealed chapters of Central Asia's deep past. Jog Falls has 4 vertical water streams descending from upright rock tiers, forming straight cascades that strike a deep natural basin. At the base of the Raja stream, surveyors found a cluster of large stones with rims evenly carved into arcs, each placed exactly 10 feet apart, with no signs of erosion. A vibration detector installed near the rock base recorded gentle pulses repeating every 90 seconds, only during the time from midnight to early morning. Near a damp zone, several grooves about 10 feet long were found running parallel and cut deep into the rock surface, with no evidence of water damage. Locals have reported mist rising vertically from the canyon and holding in a column for minutes before disappearing without leaving moisture. On the western side, a stone bears concentric circles carved at equal spacing, unrelated to any natural cracks in the surrounding rock. In a deep layer of Cappadocia's underground network, survey teams recorded a corridor system carved into adjoining chambers, each equipped with airflow openings oriented at different angles from the main axis, producing alternating pressure shifts during human movement. In the central chamber, the vaulted ceiling showed no joint markings, but mineral arcs were detected along the interior curve, suggesting prolonged internal heat exposure. Beneath sediment near the emergency exit, flat stone plates were uncovered with engraved geometric sequences of off-axis triangles, arranged counter to movement flow. A narrow stone bridge between two non-symmetrical sectors preserved the ability to transmit subtle vibrations under localized pressure without dispersing force outward. In 2019, magnetic field detectors recorded a diffraction pattern at a triple junction of underground levels, lasting 8 minutes, with no correlation to seismic or natural electrical sources. Current data does not define the precise function of this system, but collected evidence indicates that the Cappadocia structure was designed to manage signals, regulate airflow, and maintain mechanical equilibrium through internal response mechanisms. The ancient city of Taraz is located on a semi-arid plain, but maintains stable settlements thanks to underground water sources and old river systems for farming. The name Taraz appeared in the 6th century, derived from ancient Turkic, referring to the crossing point of water and trade routes. Ecologically, the area supported old wheat varieties, temperate fruit trees, and medicinal plants, along with small animals like ground squirrels and hares near ancient residential sites. A legend says that beneath Taraz lies a brick tunnel network, once used for storing valuable goods and as an escape route during war, with many parts still sealed by ancient lime soil mixture. Excavations revealed ancient soil layers containing glazed ceramics, woven fabrics, and carved brick structures, proving Taraz was a major trade center that lasted over 2,000 years along the intercontinental Silk Road. Palmyra once served as a key junction connecting trade routes between the Mediterranean and Mesopotamia, yet beneath its surviving ruins lies a spatial data system encoded into its architecture and layout. At a temple in the eastern quarter, researchers discovered a stone floor arranged in a continuous spiral, with each turn matching a fixed distance based on ancient caravan measurement units. During a 2014 excavation, a narrow stone pipe system was found running through the central square, with inlet and outlet points aligned precisely at the turning axes of the city's grid, indicating a sun-based orientation mechanism. A carved stone buried deep beneath a collapsed section contained a primitive map rendered as a sphere rather than a flat surface, reflecting an advanced spatial understanding. These details suggest that Palmyra was not only a commercial hub, but also a repository of architectural, directional, and geodetic knowledge that remains partially undecoded. Bameyan was once the largest Buddhist center in Central Asia, located in a closed valley surrounded by limestone cliffs, and served as an essential stop on the ancient Silk Road. What makes this site remarkable is not only the two destroyed giant Buddha statues, but also the cave complexes carved into the cliffs with mural paintings using pigments that include materials previously found only in the Mediterranean. A 2008 survey uncovered a network of underground corridors inside the mountain that linked small monk chambers, one of which included a stone well with an unidentified water source. On the eastern cave wall remains a Sanskrit inscription written in a curved format not seen in any known religious texts. Despite its unique archaeological and artistic value, Bameyan remains largely inaccessible to the international public, and many areas are still unexcavated. Situated along the central corridor of the Silk Road, the Tian Shan Mountains serve not only as a natural divide, but also as a repository of unexplained traces left by ancient civilizations. In the southern cliffs, long linear fractures lead to natural caves that descend tens of meters, many of which remain unexplored. In 1998, an archaeological team documented spiral-shaped carvings in a high rock chamber, alongside evenly spaced charcoal stains across the cave's ceiling with no clear linguistic or cultural origin. The area is also known for a phenomenon where rock surfaces shift color throughout the day, particularly at sites with abnormal mineral composition. Due to its rugged terrain and limited accessibility, large sections of the Tian Shan range are still uncharted in archaeological studies. The unresolved carvings, geological fractures, and mineral behaviors make the Tian Shan Mountains more than a landscape. They represent a vast and hidden archive awaiting interpretation. Located in northwestern India, the Thar Desert stretches with dunes that shift unpredictably, forming changing ridges, unrelated to prevailing winds. In some sections, evenly spaced sunken sand circles have appeared and disappeared within weeks without leaving traces. A 2012 radar survey revealed wave-like subsurface patterns beneath the sand that do not align with any known regional geologic strata. Near a dried-out oasis, archaeologists unearthed black glazed stones with concentric motifs that match no known artifact type from ancient Indian cultures. At unpredictable times each year, parts of the desert floor have briefly emitted a faint glow when impacted, recorded on thermal imaging devices. These features suggest that the Thar Desert holds not only arid terrain, but also unexplained geophysical and archaeological phenomena. In a dense forest in the northern part of Fukquok Island, large rock clusters are arranged in circles across a low grass plain, each centered around a fixed stone, as if anchored from below. Test excavations in the soil between these circles revealed a fine sediment layer etched with net-like markings that differ from any known Vietnamese folk patterns. A sunken groove near a dry streambed curves sharply, and its base reflects a pale light only when viewed from a narrow angle at around 3 in the afternoon. In this forest, certain hollow trunk trees that do not produce sap continue to bloom on a regular cycle, defying known biological explanations. Local accounts describe one particular stone cluster that emits a faint vibrating hum when the ear is pressed to it at dusk, a phenomenon that no instrument has been able to capture. These anomalies suggest that the inner parts of Fukquok remain insufficiently studied and conceal unsolved natural mysteries. At the Tagalalang Rice Terraces, surveyors discovered an ancient water channel system buried beneath the current cultivation layer, constructed with tightly fitted stone slabs without bonding material. Beneath the third soil layer, a spiral-shaped hollow stone cluster was found, with its inner core bearing concentric abrasion marks, suggesting a once functional rotational water flow mechanism. Resonance spectrum measurements at the intersection of three main channels revealed low-frequency pulses recurring every 26 minutes, unmatched by any known local natural activity. A deformed, irregular stone was uncovered at the lowest soil level, with its surface heat-altered but still retaining continuous engravings resembling a schematic layout. Locals recall a period when rice sprouted nearly a month earlier than surrounding areas, with no clear environmental cause. The water distribution layout and the repeating geophysical signals have made the site a discrete research target for an independent scientific team. The ancient city of Merv was once one of Central Asia's largest urban centers on the Silk Road, but much of its structure now lies buried beneath the cracked, dry earth of the Mary region. In 1993, researchers surveying the northern archaeological layer discovered an underground wall system arranged in concentric arcs, inconsistent with any known urban layout historically recorded in the area. Certain sections were bonded with a durable black adhesive whose exact composition remains unidentified. Near the city's core, large stone slabs were found engraved with repetitive geometric symbols, some of which do not correspond to any known script from dynasties once ruling Merv. The sediment layers here show irregular stacking, suggesting possible early artificial modifications of the terrain. Despite UNESCO recognition, much of Merv's archaeological zone remains unexcavated, making it a site full of unanswered questions regarding ancient construction techniques and spatial planning. The Burana Tower was built in the 11th century, originally about 148 feet tall, but now around 82 feet due to earthquake damage. And it still preserves its cylindrical structure and internal spiral staircase. It stands on hard soil in a dry plain, allowing distant visibility, and was once used as a watchtower along an old trade route. Researchers found bricks with raised symbols not matching any known writing system, suggesting encoded markings or unknown construction techniques. Inside the tower, a tilted spiral staircase causes a shift in balance when moving up or down. Scattered stone steles and construction materials in the area suggest this was once a major urban center. Some native bird species still nest in the brick gaps and arches, forming a small ecosystem protected along with the monument. Iscandacul Lake is located between high mountain ranges in Tajikistan, surrounded by steep cliffs and turquoise water reflecting the rugged landscape. The name comes from Iskandar, the Persian version of Alexander the Great, and Kul, meaning lake, showing a link to his campaign in Central Asia. According to legend, Alexander ordered the flooding of a rebellious village here by breaking a dam, associating the area with power and punishment. The region around the lake is home to high-altitude shrubs and attracts hundreds of migratory birds in spring, making it suitable for biological study. In addition, the lake served as a junction for ancient trade routes across the mountains between Central Asia and the West. Remnants of those ancient paths and the legends passed down for generations give this lake historical and cultural significance dating back over 1,000 years. The Mui Archipelago consists of hundreds of islands scattered across southern Myanmar, but few people know it hosts recorded anomalies in magnetism and hydrology. In seabed surveys conducted in 2014, researchers discovered circular patches with sharply defined edges and sunken centers, showing mineral compositions distinct from surrounding waters. Magnetic field measurements repeatedly showed radial deviations instead of typical north-south alignments. Another rare phenomenon was the emergence of steady underwater jets from the seabed, forming lightly spiraled flows that remained distinct from the main currents. The combination of geological irregularities, anomalous water flow, and ancient biotraces makes the Mui Archipelago a key site for both geological and paleobiological studies. The Zagros Mountains form more than a natural boundary between Mesopotamia and the Iranian Plateau. They also preserve traces of habitation and unusual structures that remain unexplained. In a narrow gorge in the Central Range, archaeologists uncovered a system of man-made rock cavities aligned in a zigzag pattern, all matching in depth and spacing, likely used to track celestial movement through the sky slit. A stone platform over 300 meters long was discovered on the mountainside with a uniformly inclined polished surface, not linked to any known settlement, raising theories of an ancient geodetic surveying function. Nearby, a hollowed limestone block with 3 subsurface air channels revealed traces of scorched layering and partially fired pottery fragments inside. Beneath deep sediment layers, researchers found a sequence of carved symbols repeating in a continuous spiral, not matching any known script and still undeciphered. These findings indicate that Zagros may have once hosted ancient activities involving astronomy, technical applications, and signal systems now lost to history. Mayon Volcano rises with a geometric cone, surrounded by forest-covered slopes and grey lava bands that form visible layers across the lower terrain. In the eastern area, geologists documented a series of intersecting grooves on solid rock, each about 13 feet long, with no signs of natural erosion. Ground-penetrating radar detected a hollow semicircular chamber more than 20 feet underground, with a strong, reflective boundary of unknown material. Seismic devices placed at the site recorded steady pulses every 11 minutes, continuing for days without matching any known geological activity. A nearby large rock featured spiral surface markings and a smooth finish, showing no traces of mechanical processing. Residents have reported seeing faint red light rising from the earth during dark nights, disappearing within minutes, and leaving no visible trace. The Sulu Sea is hidden within isolated island arcs of the Philippines, where its seafloor reveals a strangely layered terrain of spiraling fractures and terraced submarine ridges. In 2003, an underwater survey captured twisting light strands at depths beyond 2,300 feet that showed no signs of biology or known reflection phenomena. During the same mission, a robotic submersible was suddenly dragged downward and shot back up without contact with any mechanical or fluid force. Magnetic detectors around the central basin recorded intense pulses repeating on fixed cycles, confined to a narrow zone with no outward spread. A 1998 expedition described a seabed point emitting steady vibrations that ceased abruptly when approached, a condition never replicated in later missions. Satellite scans confirmed the presence of fan-like fracture lines circling the core of the sea, forming a grid pattern never charted by geological records. At the summit of Mount Nemrut, the arrangement of colossal stone statues and platforms shows a consistent directional deviation from modern geodetic north, with multiple intersections forming angles that repeat at 19-degree intervals. Behind the statue of Antiochus, a large stone block was found containing a hollow cylindrical core with melted mineral traces, showing heat exposure without evidence of conventional fuel combustion. Nearby, vertically embedded stone stakes beneath compacted gravel were positioned in irregular sequences of odd numbers and did not contribute to structural support. On a sloped western surface, a zigzag drainage groove was carved directly into the bedrock, extending nearly 17 meters without separation points. Notably, recessed grid patterns were etched into stone panels behind the main statue group, and under angled light, they revealed a stellar map aligned with the constellation Hydra as observed from Commagene Year 1. Collected data indicates that the Mount Nemrut complex served not only as a ceremonial site, but also as a system encoding astronomical and geophysical positioning principles that remain incompletely understood. At a winding section of the Nile's middle course, a hydrographic survey team discovered a stone foundation over 200 meters long beneath the riverbed, with its upper surface engraved in a uniform square grid pattern that remains intact despite water erosion. In a 2013 inspection, sonar devices recorded repeated acoustic reflections at 4 equidistant locations along the flow axis, though no notable objects appeared on riverbed maps. Near the riverbank, a disturbed ancient mud layer revealed evenly shaped cubic stones, sealed with a calcium-rich compound that remained bonded after prolonged exposure to strong current. A submerged rock cavity nearby held fine blue-tinted crystals that showed reactive properties to low-frequency electromagnetic waves ranging from 8 to 13 Hz. Additionally, a fractured bedrock segment revealed thin lead veins embedded into the base stone, arranged in a perfect triangular distribution, absent from known natural deposits. These findings suggest the Nile River may conceal an engineered system beneath its waters, with orientation and function still not fully understood. Jangai Dangia is a rare landform in China where vibrant layered rock formations stretch across the landscape, yet show inconsistent composition between identically colored areas. Geological studies on the signature red layers revealed alternating mineral compositions arranged in unusually regular cycles, challenging the assumption of natural sediment layering. At some sites, hyperspectral imaging has detected unstable shortwave radiation absorption zones with shapes that shift seasonally. Locals believe the rocks reflect the emotions of the land, and some reported that the central zone faded significantly overnight after a heavy rain without mudslides. Several tilted pillar-like rock clusters repeat the same axis deviation but show no sign of collapse despite surface exposure. A deep core sample showed curved strata lines that do not align with any known pressure deformation patterns, raising new theories about underground energy processes. The ancient city of Taraz is located on a semi-arid plain, but maintains stable settlements thanks to underground water sources and old river systems for farming. The name Taraz appeared in the 6th century, derived from ancient Turkic, referring to the crossing point of water and trade routes. Ecologically, the area supported old wheat varieties, temperate fruit trees, and medicinal plants, along with small animals like ground squirrels and hares near ancient residential sites. A legend says that beneath Taraz lies a brick tunnel network, once used for storing valuable goods and as an escape route during war, with many parts still sealed by ancient lime soil mixture. Excavations revealed ancient soil layers containing glazed ceramics, woven fabrics, and carved brick structures, proving Taraz was a major trade center that lasted over 2,000 years along the intercontinental Silk Road. On the eastern slope of Mount Kinabalu, researchers found a series of stone slabs arranged like interlocking tiles, each about 40 centimeters thick and perfectly joined without bonding materials. Seismic sensors detected ultra-low frequency vibrations in this area, despite no visible surface tectonic activity during the measurement. An exposed cylindrical boulder at the mountain base showed a naturally polished surface covered in faint incisions, arranged in a precise triangular grid that remained intact over time. A deep cavity under the primary rock layer revealed dark crystals that emitted soft reflections under infrared light but remained inert under visible light. Available data suggests the area may be concealing a structured or possibly artificial stone system built on still unidentified principles. Cipedan Island rises from the Celebi Sea atop a steep coral column that emerges from deep waters, surrounded by sudden blue drop-offs. Beneath its edges lies a network of underwater caves with domed chambers, linked by narrow passages, some still containing remains of sea turtles that lost their way inside. Divers have reported fine dust settling on the limestone cave floors, visible only during irregular, reversed currents. Near the outer reef, small groups of hammerhead sharks consistently appear at the same time each year, without any clear biological or seasonal cues. A 2009 Malaysian study observed living coral clusters emitting low-frequency vibrations when exposed to artificial light, a response not recorded elsewhere. On land, ancient coral sediments reveal circular microfractures that do not align with standard seismic fault patterns. Tianchi Lake on Mount Changbai is one of the rare places where unexplained phenomena have been recorded, including the legend of a golden dragon emerging from the water. In a video taken in 2006, long-necked creatures surfaced in groups before vanishing within seconds, leaving behind long white trails of foam. On full moon nights, the lake often forms an arc of white foam pointing toward the center, regardless of wind direction or atmospheric pressure. Survey equipment detected a sequence of concentric spiral hollows beneath the lake bed, unmatched by any known geological structure in the region. Sediment collected from deep layers showed signs of melting and contained twisted patterns not found in known volcanic samples. An 18th century journal described a faint blue light rising from the lake at night, accompanied by brief tremors felt around the basin that lasted under a minute. These discoveries, combined with ancient legends, make Tianchi a unique intersection of natural processes and unresolved mysteries. The ancient city of Taraz is located on a semi-arid plain, but maintains stable settlements thanks to underground water sources and old river systems for farming. The name Taraz appeared in the 6th century, derived from ancient Turkic, referring to the crossing point of water and trade routes. Ecologically, the area supported old wheat varieties, temperate fruit trees, and medicinal plants, along with small animals like ground squirrels and hares near ancient residential sites. A legend says that beneath Taraz lies a brick tunnel network, once used for storing valuable goods and as an escape route during war, with many parts still sealed by ancient lime soil mixture. Excavations revealed ancient soil layers containing glazed ceramics, woven fabrics, and carved brick structures, proving Taraz was a major trade center that lasted over 2,000 years along the intercontinental Silk Road. Among rugged mountain ranges and surrounded by no major structures, the Minaret of Jam has long raised the question of how such a tall monument could survive intact for centuries. Its remarkable height and near-zero tilt continue to puzzle modern engineers, especially since the tower stands on shallow soil without any reinforced foundation. One brick in particular was engraved with concentric spiral patterns, believed to be linked to astronomical tracking. Because no full excavation has yet been conducted, the Minaret of Jam remains one of the most mysterious archaeological sites along the Silk Road. Amid the ancient trade corridor of the Silk Road, the Jangai Dangia landform stands out as a geological anomaly, with vividly curved rock layers in unnatural red, orange, yellow, and green. Some color bands do not match the underlying stone, and parts of the surface are coated with ultra-thin mineral layers that cannot be removed or traced to natural processes. One peculiar feature includes evenly spread coatings that suggest unknown artificial influence. In 2001, researchers discovered a vertical stone pillar inside a deep ravine with a surface too smooth and precise to match the eroded surroundings. It has been suggested the area may have served as a marker or observation site aligned with fixed light directions. With its unresolved origin and abnormal features, Jangai Dangia remains one of the most debated geological sites along the ancient route. The Pamir Mountains have an average elevation of over 13,000 feet, with the highest glacier density outside the polar regions, and serve as the source of several major rivers in Central Asia. The landscape includes rocky plateaus, snow-covered peaks, deep gorges, and high-altitude lakes, creating a dry, cold, and low-oxygen environment. This area is home to endemic species such as Marco Polo sheep, snow leopards, and Siberian ibex, along with plants that store water and tolerate extreme cold. Some vertical shaft-like rock cavities are found between cliffs without signs of natural erosion, leading to theories about unexplained ancient geological activity. Visitors to Pamir can join high-altitude climbing over 16,000 feet, cross glaciers, conduct geological surveys, and observe wild animals in the Rocky Highlands. Amid the arid terrain of southern Iran, Persepolis continues to puzzle modern researchers not only for its scale, but also for its unresolved technical features. Many stone blocks, weighing tens of tons, fit together seamlessly without mortar, with contact surfaces so smooth that even a blade cannot slip between them, revealing a level of precision rarely seen. On several stone platform walls, what appeared to be decorative carvings were later revealed through infrared imaging in a 2012 survey to be spatial diagrams outlining the layout of the entire complex. A subterranean drainage system made of dozens of carved stone pipes still functions today, despite being absent from any ancient written records. Some pillars have uneven cross-sections, yet when light passes through, they cast aligned shadow bands that resemble time-measuring instruments, prompting theories of astronomical utility. Although Persepolis is commonly viewed as an ancient administrative hub, These findings suggest it held multiple layers of purpose that remain only partially understood. Toba is not only the largest volcanic lake in Southeast Asia, but also home to unexplained geological phenomena. During a 2010 lakebed survey, researchers found an oval-shaped section with abnormal hardness, unaffected by surrounding mud flows. In the same area, sonar signals were slightly deflected, suggesting the presence of an unidentified subsurface material. A sequence of weak seismic pulses was recorded every 72 hours for 3 months, without signs of magma movement or tectonic shifts. Deep water samples contained unusually high levels of dissolved gases, despite no clear source from the lake bottom. Local accounts speak of a bottomless center, where a previous depth survey team reportedly lost all signal at the same location. Babylon was not only the symbol of Mesopotamian power, but also a site filled with architectural details and archaeological phenomena that remain unexplained. Deep beneath the Esagila temple complex, foundations of a massive rectangular structure were uncovered without any trace of stairs or access points, raising questions about its unconventional function. Some bricks recovered from the Ishtar Gate bear glaze, composed of minerals found only in the Anatolian highlands, located hundreds of kilometers away, suggesting a supply network never recorded in historical texts. In an underground storage chamber, archaeologists discovered a clay tablet inscribed with characters unlike any known cuneiform script, arranged in a spiral symmetric pattern, resembling a mathematical diagram. These findings suggest that Babylon may have served not only as an imperial capital, but also as a repository of forgotten scientific knowledge. Damascus has been continuously inhabited since ancient times, yet within this long-standing city lie structures and traces that remain undecoded. During archaeological work in the Old Quarter, researchers recorded wall segments containing internal lead cores arranged in repeating sawtooth patterns aligned with a fixed geodetic axis. Some ancient wells in the area had bottoms covered with metallic glazed ceramics, and measurements confirmed they reflect light precisely during sunsets at a specific point in the solar cycle. In the former market zone, numerous stone columns with asymmetric cross-sections were arranged following a sequence of prime numbers, suggesting a function beyond decorative layout. A stone slab discovered in a sealed storage room in 1998 was engraved with repeating geometric patterns, and later mapping confirmed these patterns matched historical transport junctions. These findings indicate that ancient Damascus may have been built with a coded spatial system designed for early navigation and urban coordination. Haeundae is known not only for its naturally fine sand, but also for geological anomalies just beneath its coastal surface. A 2012 survey revealed that the bedrock, less than 4 meters below the sand, has irregular convex-concave layers alternating with fine quartz-rich sediments. Ground-penetrating radar detected a series of aligned hollow gaps below this bedrock layer, disconnected from groundwater and with no known formation cause. Near the shoreline, gravity sensors recorded minor oscillations every 9 hours, which did not align with tides or wind patterns. A special sand sample showed flat mineral fragments with weak magnetic response and surface micro-scratches running in parallel lines. These features mark Haeundae as one of South Korea's rare coastal zones with unexplained geological signals. Charon Canyon in Kazakhstan stretches for dozens of miles, with vertical cliffs and sandstone formations shaped into towers, corridors, and arches. The rock colors shift throughout the day, from brick red to dark orange, showing a sediment and erosion process over millions of years. Some rock blocks show near-perfect symmetry, leading researchers to question directional fracture patterns that remain unexplained. This area is home to the ancient Asian ash tree and many semi-arid species adapted to deep ravines and seasonal water flow. The site is monitored by international science groups to observe natural erosion and micro-changes in rock structure. Visitors can walk through natural stone corridors, examine twisted or layered rock shapes, and record seasonal surface changes between dry and wet phases. Crackus Chevalier is not only a major military fortress in western Syria, but also contains structures and systems that remain largely unexplained, extending beyond standard defensive functions. During investigations of its underground corridors, researchers documented a grid-like arrangement of ventilation shafts that allow internal air circulation without opening the main gates. In one southern watchtower, the undersides of stone floor tiles were found coated with a rare reflective mineral that produces wall illumination even in the absence of direct light. In 1999, a sealed chamber was opened containing a relief map carved in plaster showing the entire complex in layered form, with airflow paths, hidden exits, and elevation shifts marked by dot and ring symbols. Near the main well, a fixed stone gear mechanism was found beside a water duct, possibly used to redirect flow based on fluctuating water levels. No surviving historical texts describe these systems in detail, leaving Crackus Chevalier as a structural ensemble with several technical elements still not fully understood.
Textos antigos mencionam uma área selada dentro do complexo imperial da dinastia Tang, que supostamente guarda mapas e registros de rotas comerciais não divulgadas. Em 2003, arqueólogos encontraram um túnel de pedra sob um solo compacto na parte sul da cidade, contendo artefatos metálicos com padrões desconhecidos, que não se assemelham a nenhuma técnica chinesa registrada. Especialistas sugerem que esses objetos podem estar ligados a mercadores sogdianos ou comunidades persas que costumavam frequentar a região, levantando hipóteses sobre uma rede subterrânea de comércio que não foi documentada oficialmente. Chang'an, hoje chamada de Xi'an, foi uma vez a imponente capital de várias dinastias e atuava como ponto de partida fundamental da antiga Rota da Seda, conectando a China com a Ásia Ocidental e a Europa. Localizada na planície de Guangzhong e cercada por montanhas elevadas, a cidade tinha uma posição estratégica para defesa militar e controle do comércio em larga escala. Mais do que apenas um centro administrativo, Chang'an tornou-se um ponto de encontro para o conhecimento, a tecnologia e as artes vindas de civilizações como a Pérsia, a Índia e a Roma antiga.
The Alai Valley is located at a high elevation and is surrounded by snow-covered mountain ranges, forming a flat plain where glacial streams create a network of small water channels across the grassland. This place has a unique high-altitude ecosystem with wild animals such as mountain antelopes, snow foxes, and golden eagles often seen in the area. During the short spring, the valley becomes a stopover for migratory birds, creating a rare biodiversity scene at this altitude. The valley was once a connection route between Central Asia and the southern regions, where stone tools and ancient pottery have been discovered, proving human settlement thousands of years ago. Hidden beneath Isfahan's majestic surface lies a layer of architecture embedded with geometric and astronomical logic that modern researchers still struggle to fully explain. In certain ancient halls, at the exact moment of the vernal equinox sunset, wall tile patterns reflect onto the floor, forming images nearly identical to the layout of Southern Hemisphere constellations. Along several old corridors, Floor tiles bear embedded numerical symbols, repeating according to the sequences of prime numbers, a feature never seen in other Islamic structures of the same period. A buried manuscript, found in an underground library, outlines the city's urban plan based on lunar cycles, where major roads align with the moon's rise and set points throughout the year. Some ancient wind towers within the city still generate stable vortex cooling without any mechanical support, operating purely on spatial design. These findings suggest that Isfahan was not only a cultural capital, but also a repository of encoded mathematical and astronomical knowledge.
As ilhas Andaman e Nicobar são conhecidas não apenas por sua localização isolada no Oceano Índico, mas também por uma série de fenômenos geológicos intrigantes documentados por meio de pesquisas detalhadas. Em coordenadas fixas específicas, bússolas mudaram de direção ao cruzar um limite invisível que se estendia pelas ilhas, indicando uma anomalia de interação magnética linear. Durante uma pesquisa gravitacional realizada em 2015, os instrumentos registraram flutuações gravitacionais contínuas por mais de 7 horas, mesmo sem distúrbios sísmicos ou de maré na região. Perto da camada de sedimento fossilizado, pesquisadores descobriram uma cavidade oca que levava a uma rede de trincheiras estreitas revestidas por minerais marrom claros que emitiam um brilho fraco quando expostos a campos magnéticos variáveis. Por fim, uma bacia selada de água salgada revelou níveis de salinidade que variavam em ciclos consistentes, sem conexão com a água do mar ao redor, levantando a hipótese de um sistema subterrâneo de circulação ainda não descoberto.
Located at the westernmost tip of Java, Ujong Kulon is not only a vital biodiversity reserve, but also the site of several little-known geological anomalies. In a 2012 survey, experts documented a grid of narrow cracks forming a regular hexagonal pattern, etched into basalt rock near the forest edge, maintaining structural stability despite local tectonic activity. Beneath the moist coastal soil, researchers uncovered a sealed cavity whose walls strongly responded to infrasound waves, even though no internal gas chamber was detected. Elsewhere, groundwater was seen surfacing through evenly spaced holes in the soil, forming alternating flows in a precise 56-minute cycle, unrelated to tides or pressure changes. These observations suggest the possibility of an underlying structure, either artificial or semi-natural, still hidden beneath the untouched jungle. The Gobi Desert in Mongolia features rocky plateaus, dry valleys, and low sand dunes, along with cliffs carved by wind into deep grooves and natural cracks. The name Gobi comes from the Mongolian language and means waterless land, accurately describing its dry and harsh conditions. Its ecosystem includes drought-resistant species like wild Bactrian camels, snow leopards, Mongolian antelope, and deep-rooted shrubs that grow near underground water sources. A well-known legend tells of a creature called the Mongolian deathworm, nearly 3 feet long, dark red, said to kill with poison without direct contact. Although no scientific proof has been found, several expeditions have searched for it with no confirmed results. The Gobi is also where scientists discovered the world's first fossilized dinosaur eggs, adding major scientific value to this desert region. Several remote zones within Aso National Park have shown unexplained geological features, including a curved fissure over 140 meters long that runs down a mountain slope, with layered crystalline deposits not aligned with standard sedimentation. Near a volcanic vent, researchers found a thin layer of fine dust rich in natural fluorine compounds capable of disrupting magnetic readings when tested with elevation sensors. A triangular stone slab was discovered within a deep fracture, bearing an unusually smooth surface and incised lines arranged in inward spirals. These anomalies suggest the possible existence of an autonomous system tied to tectonic activity that remains unexplained. Phnom Coulen preserves many ancient remnants, but what makes this national park unique is the combination of buried architecture and unexplained geological activity. During a recent survey beneath the roots of the primary forest, researchers uncovered rectangular stone blocks arranged in a symmetrical grid pattern, each precisely 1.2 meters long, aligned across a wide area without surface exposure. A small stream features over 1,000 Brahmi inscriptions etched into its bed, yet spectral scans revealed that some sections reflect as if a thin metallic layer lies beneath the natural stone. These anomalies support the theory that Phnom Coulen may have served not only as a sacred site, but also as an ancient experiment in energy transfer or terrain modulation. Bromo Volcano is not only famous for its smoky crater, but also for rare physical anomalies observed within the Tenga caldera. During a 2012 survey, geophysicists discovered that the fine ash near the crater showed magnetic properties that changed with wind direction, a phenomenon not recorded at other active volcanoes. At certain times of the year, hot air currents spiral counterclockwise and converge on a fixed point inside the crater, where no major vent exists. Repeated weak seismic signals have been detected at regular intervals, even in the absence of eruptions or magma movement. Local villagers recall seeing a thin smoke ribbon that hovered motionless over the slope for hours without dispersing. These unexplained phenomena have made Bromo a focal point for international scientific investigations. Samarkand, the most illustrious hub of the Silk Road in Central Asia, is known for its turquoise domes and grand squares, but beneath the surface lie unresolved archaeological traces. In a 2009 excavation outside the old city walls, archaeologists uncovered a network of vaulted brick corridors leading to semicircular chambers, with no visible surface structures connected to them. The walls of these rooms were coated in an unidentified plaster not found in traditional Uzbek building materials. Some sections contained embedded ceramic shards arranged in a grid-like pattern, possibly for measuring or directing light in low-visibility environments. Local legend speaks of a forbidden underground zone used to protect rare manuscripts and foreign artifacts, never documented in official history. Beyond its surface grandeur, Samarkand holds a multi-layered, subterranean legacy, with evidence that does not entirely match the construction styles of any known dynasty that once ruled the city. Babylon was not only the symbol of Mesopotamian power, but also a site filled with architectural details and archaeological phenomena that remain unexplained. Deep beneath the Esagila temple complex, foundations of a massive rectangular structure were uncovered without any trace of stairs or access points, raising questions about its unconventional function. Some bricks recovered from the Ishtar Gate bear glaze, composed of minerals found only in the Anatolian highlands, located hundreds of kilometers away, suggesting a supply network never recorded in historical texts. In an underground storage chamber, archaeologists discovered a clay tablet inscribed with characters unlike any known cuneiform script, arranged in a spiral symmetric pattern, resembling a mathematical diagram. These findings suggest that Babylon may have served not only as an imperial capital, but also as a repository of forgotten scientific knowledge. Beneath the stone foundations of central Venice, a layered substructure was discovered, extending diagonally across the city's layout, consisting of multiple small chambers of uniform size, unconnected to any known drainage or storage systems. Near the San Polo Square, geophysical instruments detected low-frequency acoustic anomalies repeating at 6-point intervals, all linked to high-density mineral clusters located more than 4 meters below ground. During a high-resolution spectral imaging survey, a brick wall behind an old church revealed cross-angle light-wave reflections, forming a twisted grid pattern, unrelated to the surface architecture. In 2018, a tilted cylindrical stone column was excavated beneath the Santa Croce area. Its inner surface was carved with evenly spaced linear symbols bearing no relation to Latin, Greek, or Etruscan scripts. A diamond-tiled floor exposed during a ground subsidence near the main canal displayed anomalous reflectivity under artificial light, with no similar response under sunlight. These elements indicate that Venice contains a subsurface network designed with material, signal, and spatial orientation features that remain only partially understood. The city of Bukhara lies on flat land that was once part of an old river basin, where fertile soil remains usable thanks to traditional wells and underground canals. The name Bukhara comes from ancient Sogdiana and means center of knowledge, reflecting the city's historical role in academic and religious development in Central Asia. The area once grew ancient wheat, pomegranates, almonds, and native medicinal plants, forming an agricultural system well adapted to dry conditions. A local legend says an underground cursed well caused a king to vanish during prayer, and the site was sealed with stone, never reopened due to fear of consequences. Archaeological surveys have found unusual underground structures in the area, but further exploration stopped due to technical limits and local concerns. Bukhara has existed for over 2,000 years and was a major academic and trading center on the Silk Road, with many old schools and religious buildings made of intricately carved bricks. On an exposed seaside cliff at Amalfi, researchers discovered spiral-shaped sediment layers arranged in reversed order, with heavier mineral grains above lighter ones, inconsistent with natural deposition processes. At the base of the cliff, a hexagonal rock block with one abnormally smooth face was found, its surface layer containing microcrystalline networks capable of refracting low-angle light, causing distortion in spectral imaging. At a rocky outcrop, a system of parallel zigzag grooves over 30 meters long was recorded, each groove having uniform depth and spacing, without serving water flow or traction functions. In 2020, during excavation of a sealed cave, archaeologists uncovered a ceramic plate fused with a flat lead core, perforated with evenly spaced round holes. The lead retained weak conductivity under low-frequency electric current. A coastal stone surface near the waterline exhibited abnormal reactions under alternating magnetic fields, showing consistent frequency pulses not matching ambient environmental interference. These findings suggest Amalfi may have once integrated structural elements designed for signal control, conductive transmission, or environmental modulation, no longer evident in the coast's current function. Tianzhu's high scenic area in Anhui Province is a vast mountainous forest zone located near the boundary between eastern and central China, distinguished by sharp peaks and dense vegetation that extends from the valley base to the upper ridges. The landscape here is strongly layered, with vertical rock walls alternating with deep gorges, forming natural enclosures that are difficult to access from the outside. Botanists have identified several ancient gymnosperm species in the area, including some once thought extinct, preserved thanks to the region's unusually stable moisture and temperature conditions over centuries. A frequently observed anomaly is the spiral movement of low-lying fog within the mountain crevices, believed to result from narrow air pressure variations between cliff edges rather than from wind or temperature changes. In 2011, a geological expedition found rock surfaces with concentric twist-like formations, differing entirely from the surrounding stratigraphy. Beyond its natural uniqueness, this area is historically noted as a former refuge for hermits who chose the site for its inaccessibility and abundant groundwater from fractured rock systems. With its isolated topography, ancient biological diversity, and microclimatic behaviors that remain impossible to replicate artificially, Tianzhu has become a focus of special interest for both biologists and geologists in recent years. Wanfo Lake is located within a closed basin in Anhui and has repeatedly forced research teams to abandon their surveys due to anomalies in its midwater structure. In 2009, multispectral sensors detected a highly light-obstructive layer at average depth, which completely disrupted imaging beneath it, even though the lake's surface was still and clear. The anomaly did not follow any known cycle and vanished within hours, making pattern recognition impossible. During sediment collection, geologists found layers of fine silt containing altered microcrystalline iron and streaks of undecomposed organic material, suggesting unknown subsurface chemical activity. Notably, during a mild color shift in the water, plankton samples showed cell pigment concentrations doubling within an hour, despite no changes in light or temperature. Since then, Wanfo Lake has been listed as a high-priority observation site in Chinese limnological studies, as its unstable behavior disqualifies it from inclusion in standard hydrological baselines. Balihe Scenic Area is located in northern Anhui Province and is known for its interconnected river and lake system, where water flows through natural channels without mechanical intervention. A notable geographic feature is the symmetrical distribution of water surfaces and vegetation, creating nearly mirrored landscapes when viewed from moderate elevation. The area's natural beauty lies in the calm, clear lake surfaces and dense reed fields that form sharp transitions between land and water without constructed barriers. A 2006 hydrological survey recorded at least 3 zones where water flow speed changed abruptly at the same elevation, without slope or obstruction, suggesting the presence of hidden underwater sink points. Interestingly, many small land patches here show unusually high soil compaction levels, yet support stable surface vegetation throughout the year. A striking contrast is seen in the circular clusters of dense plants next to entirely open water areas at very close range, drawing attention from field biology researchers. Additionally, at least 2 parts of the lake show brief water color changes in early summer for 5 to 10 minutes daily, a phenomenon documented over multiple years without a known cause, adding to the area's mystery. Baishuiyang and Yuanyang Stream in Fujian is a rare confluence zone where the river flows over a flat rock bed stretching more than 5,900 feet. The water here is so shallow during dry seasons that people can walk across it without getting above their ankles. A striking phenomenon is the white ripples that remain fixed in shape for hours, even as water flow changes. Geological studies revealed that the stone bed contains horizontal microcapillary channels that distribute water evenly without pooling. In 2004, a research team observed the water shifting direction midstream without any visible obstacle, leading to a hypothesis about underground pressure differences. This site showcases an unusual combination of monolithic topography, capillary rock structure, and ancient biological features. Taimu Mountain in Fujian Province is an ancient granite massif with highly fragmented terrain featuring steep rock spires and naturally formed hollow caves created through long-term vertical erosion. Many of the peaks display unusual shapes with tilted stone blocks stacked precariously, giving an optical sense of imbalance when viewed from a distance. A documented physical phenomenon includes continuous vapor emission from narrow crevices unrelated to ambient temperature, believed to be caused by forced evaporation from capillary systems within the underground rock. Surveys show that the rock's crystal structure here has an abnormally high micrograin misalignment rate, contributing to complex surface energy absorption and redistribution. Historical records mention hidden cave entrances that only become visible from specific angles due to topographic curvature, a phenomenon not yet fully explained. The landscape consists of irregularly shaped boulders, natural openings, and deep rock layers with deformation, making this site a valuable field study area for geology and geophysical research. Wuyuan Jiangwan Scenic Area in Jiangxi is a distinctive landscape where low hills, shallow streams, and terraced fields coexist in an asymmetrical yet balanced layout. A rare phenomenon here is that many water flows spread laterally over the ground, instead of following the natural slope, forming spontaneous divisions without human influence. In 2002, geologists measured rhythmic water pulses at 7-minute intervals, without detecting any mechanical vibration nearby, suggesting the presence of deep subsurface circulation. In the mid-soil layer, fossilized pollen with irregular shapes was found, unmatched by any known plant species in East Asia. The soil surface has a high proportion of altered clay that retains moisture while maintaining stable texture, allowing dry ground cover that does not become slippery. At 3 separate locations, researchers observed small flashes of light on the water surface at noon without the presence of reflective materials. These features, including asymmetric terrain, periodic water pulses, and unusual soil composition, make the area a rare subject of interdisciplinary study in hydrology, biology, and soil dynamics. Guifeng Scenic Area is a sandstone mountain zone in eastern Jiangxi, known for hundreds of naturally balanced rock formations typical of Danxia landforms in China. One of the largest rocks here looks like a giant turtle facing outward, which is how the area got its name, Guafeng. These rocks formed through long-term erosion, with smooth vertical faces and straight vertical cracks, showing signs of ancient tectonic activity. Some rocks over 30 feet tall stand on a very small base point, yet have remained stable for centuries without collapsing. Several rock shapes from Guifeng were also featured in traditional Chinese ink paintings, reflecting its cultural impact in visual art. As one of the few locations in China where hundreds of dome-shaped peaks are packed tightly without following any geological alignment, Sanbaishan has become a subject of scientific debate due to its asymmetric landform. The peaks appear similar in shape, but lean in various directions, causing uneven stratification despite having the same geological origin. Inside cliff walls, deep fractures stretch for dozens of feet in repeating zigzag patterns, a formation not seen in comparable mountain systems. Some smooth and flat rock surfaces, found more than 300 feet high, show no moss or signs of erosion, despite having no clear access route. During extended dry seasons, continuous dripping has been observed from vertical cracks with no confirmed water source above or underground. Valleys between peaks contain high-density red clay believed to be remnants of ancient compressed material, though this theory remains unproven. Minjue Mountain in Jiangxi is known for its ancient granite terrain and layered primary forest ecosystem rising from low to high elevations. The area features multi-level waterfalls, exposed mineral springs, and steep rock walls, creating a unique landscape for geological observation. Its biodiversity includes orchids, ferns, lichens, and broadleaf trees, along with some native animal species adapted to the subtropical temperate transition zone. Historically, the mountain was home to scholars and monks during the Song dynasty, with stone carvings and remains of ancient structures still present. In addition, mountain streams here have high pH levels and natural mineral content, which are believed to support skin recovery and are used for therapeutic purposes. Nowhere else in Jiangxi shows such extreme terrain contrast as Dajue Mountain, where one slope is fractured by deep vertical cuts, while the opposite side remains smooth, as if precisely carved. On the eastern slope, large granite surfaces reflect light unusually and show parallel scratches spaced about 5 centimeters apart, with no known tool marks matching the pattern. Three times over the past 20 years, spontaneous slab detachment has occurred. Huge stone blocks separated from their base with clean cuts, absent of seismic activity or human intervention. Several V-shaped grooves stretch over 10 meters across boulders near the summit, yet they connect to no cracks or erosion paths, raising questions about internal forces. In 2001, a local survey team observed circular dew rings about 1 meter wide, forming on bare rock without humidity or cool air present. At elevations above 300 meters, dense patches of ferns and shrubs grow in unexpected clusters, defying typical ecological patterns. The complete asymmetry of its slopes, spontaneous rock separations, and unclassified surface markings make Daju Mountain an unresolved geological case. Unlike most large inland lakes in China formed by natural flow or valley depression, Nancy Lake is notable for being a compound lake system with a complex bottom structure divided into horizontal bands, believed to result from interrupted sedimentation over thousands of years. Though its surface is wide, the lakebed is not flat, featuring parallel bottom ridges 3 to 5 feet deep, forming a wave-like pattern not observed in other major freshwater lakes in the region. One of its most puzzling traits is the presence of stagnant water zones with low biological activity lying directly beside highly active areas without any clear difference in depth or substrate. In 2007, researchers recorded a localized phase shift event. A water patch nearly 500 square meters in size turned cloudy within hours without disturbance from sediment, flow, or biological activity. Although Nancy Lake is widely used for agriculture and irrigation, large sections remain unexplored due to the complex underwater topography, making it a water body full of unresolved anomalies. Yimeng Mountain is one of the few mountain ranges in eastern China where bedrock layers are exposed in uneven stepped formations, creating visibly distinct ancient strata. Its most unique feature is the presence of massive stone slabs that bend horizontally across long distances without cracking, defying the brittle nature of the host rock. At several higher elevations, large granite blocks are stacked in spiral formations, with the top stones decreasing in size and showing no signs of past movement, suggesting an unusual in-place uplift process. In 1996, an independent survey discovered a flat stone surface nearly 30 square meters wide, covered entirely in micro-scratches, each about 2 centimeters long, and arranged in a uniform grid with no known cause. Beyond geology, Yimeng's vegetation also displays anomalies. Light-loving species grow in tight clusters within shaded valleys instead of on open slopes. The coexistence of structurally abnormal rock formations and reversed biological distribution has made Yimeng a key interdisciplinary site for terrain and ecosystem research.